Welcome to News Analysis. This video talks about flood in Assam and Bihar. It also tries to find out the causes behind this. Every year we see in monsoon, one part or another part of India is affected by flood. Around 8 million of hectare of land is impacted every year out of 32 million hectare that is prone to flood. So in this video we'll know which are the reasons or which are the zones which are prone to flood. Talking about the reasons behind this, the causal factors, one is the physical factor and another is human factor, which we'll be dealing with. And these are the areas which are usually affected by flood. So, how is this possible and why is this so? This map shows which are the flood zones in India, and when we superimpose it with the river system or the drainage system, we get a more clearer picture. How is that? I'd like to know. This is the area which is Punjab and Himachal and Haryana. These are usually waterlogged. They are not flooded but waterlogged due to poorly developed river system or drainage system. Though 5 rivers are there, but the drainage system is here underdeveloped. Now coming to the other part, this is the part of UP and the part of Bihar, northern Bihar. This area is also usually this area is flooded, and why it is so? It is so because it has Ganga as one of its main river, then Yamuna as another river, then Gomati, Ghagra, Gandak and Kosi. These rivers carry huge amount of silt or sediment with themselves, so it blocks the path and the water spills out, and so the flood is created. The third reason we say that it's because of block. Sometimes in these hilly regions also, if we go to the regions of Uttarakhand and Himachal, then these regions also face flood. Two reasons are there. One of the reason is landslide due to heavy rainfall, and that heavy rainfall is due to cloud burst, which is a small duration of 1 or 2 hours, but the intensity is very high. So it makes it landslides are there due to the cloud burst. It blocks the path of the river and flood is created. Then one of the third reasons would be, if we talk about the river system or the drainage system, then this part, the Brahmaputra part, has meandering. This part is very narrow, plus it carries huge amount of water from glacier that are melt during summer season, and added with monsoonal rain, it carries a huge amount of water. It impedes drainage and the water flows everywhere, making flood. Then there is another area. These areas are usually deltaic in nature, like those in Bangladesh or here, or the Mahanadi, or if we talk about Godavari, then these are some, or one talk about the Kerala part, where backwaters of Kerala, they also carry a huge amount of sedimentation. around the mouth, added with monsoon or heavy rainfall. Heavy rainfall is one of the biggest reasons. If we talk about that, then heavy rainfall becomes how it impacts. This is the reason of heavy rainfall due to monsoon. This is the reason of heavy rainfall due to monsoon. These are the reasons of heavy rainfall due to monsoon. But this part is more prone because of backwaters. This is not much because here the drainage system is better. Then another reasons is there this part of the land gets tropical cyclone. Due to this cyclone, there is a rainfall. The tidal wave or the sea of the sea enters. So this was all about the natural thing. Uh, Talking about the man-made thing, which we'd like to have that one is about deforestation, then changing the then building multi-purpose projects, and this is how it has been done. Man-made or human-made are usually two three reasons. One of the reason is deforestation. This area this area of Mumbai and Chennai have seen a lot of mangrove forest being cut down. So what happens next? Since they provided a natural barrier from the tidal wave of the sea, now they do not provide it. Now it can enter, and so flood is more frequent than ever in Mumbai or Chennai. Added with construction of road and floor or building, this construction work mainly blocks the surface. Water could not go down, and that's how the surface runoff is there and flood is created. This has happened in other cities also, Surat, Vadodara, or even in Delhi, where there is a problem of water logging due to this construction, and added with poorly developed drainage system, added with unplanned urbanization or urban haphazard urban development. So this is all about the reasons. Now we should also know about how to manage this flood. We all know that since flood is mostly natural things, it becomes very difficult to stop it because of its sudden nature. It becomes difficult for them to stop it. So focus is on minimizing the impact. Minimizing the impact in a way that uh, rehabilitation part can be done very easily. Uh, Three phases are followed up: pre-flood phases, then during, and then post-flood phase. In pre-flood phase, preparedness is done. Flood-prone areas, or which are the probable flood areas with considerable lead time, are taken up. Evacuation plan is made up. During that, most of the things rely on updation of data, and that too on a real-time basis. It helps to maintain rescue plan and send relief measures. Then the third part regarding mitigation, it is looked that the people should be rehabilitated And then if there is any change in course of physiography of that place, or change in course of a river of that place, if drainage system is proper, these all things are meant. Other than that, some of the methods which we talk about is taking the help from satellites like Kalpana Insight or Cartosat or LIS, which helps in proper mapping of land features, which would help in to find out route of or altered route of river, course of the river, formation around new formation around those rivers, or there is any erosional or depositional features formed. Then again, coming to methods again, which methods could be applied? There are some of the methods in which embankments from the old times has been there. Embankments, this is the river, it flows right down, it is covered with some kind of higher raised platform or cemented platforms, so the river could not spill up. However, in course of time, it has been suggested that if there are embankments made, then instead of this water level, the water level increases, and whenever there is some weak spot in this water level, in this embankment, it may spill out. Or if there is more water, then it may spill out again, covering the floodplain, and then flood will be there. So embankments nowadays are being seen as not a very trustworthy thing. Then there is a river zoning, where zonation of river is done, in which the nearby regions are raised or upraised in successive manner, and this is the main route of river. If there is influx of water, then it could spill out, and then if there is more influx of water, it could spill out from here, then here. So in this zonation, the rescue plan, it's more about the rescue plan of the relief measure, or a relocation of the population, which is the timing, they get ample time for these things. Then there are other things like joining of river projects. So these river projects has been, it's a plan that this river should be joined, so that the water from these rivers could be diverted into another rivers, and since the water would be diverted, then it would be easier. However, this plan is a longer one and a costlier one. It needs to be seen in future how it would go. Then there is another one method that is called dredging, in which the surface is the silt or sedimentation on the surface is taken out, and so the river gets more space to flow, thereby reducing the, if uh, this was earlier water level of river, it would recede down, and now this is the new water level, and that is how flood are managed. That's all for today.